Remain seated, please.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Ian, and this is Opinion. You know what, folks? I just wanted to tell you about an adventure I recently had, and the big event was that I went back to Walt Disney World for the first time in 25 years. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I have a little bit of a history with Disney because I worked at Disneyland Park as a performer for 8 years, and I also worked for the Disney Company and the studios for about 5 years as an illustrator. Hey, before I tell you more, would you mind taking a minute to like this video and subscribe? You can do that right over here in the corner, that little icon, or you can do it down below. Going to Walt Disney World was always such a foreign concept to me, especially as a kid. We always went to Disneyland Park because most of my family is in Arizona and California, so when we would have family reunions, that was the place where we were going. So I got really familiar with Disneyland itself. The only previous times that I had been to Walt Disney World was somewhere in the early 80s when my dad took me on a business trip and we went to the park for maybe 4 hours, so I don't remember that much. And then the only other time was in 1993. The Tower of Terror had opened recently and me and some buddies who I used to work with at Disneyland went on a vacation together. When it comes to Disney, most of my interest as an adult centers around theme park design, attractions, all that stuff. I love how rides are put together. I love the atmospheres they create, all that good stuff. I love theme parks, and one of my guilty pleasures is that I actually spend a lot of time watching videos about rides on YouTube. So whoever's out there making those, good job, man. I knew ahead of time that this trip was going to be a bit of a whirlwind because we had 2 days. So we decided to go to Magic Kingdom one day and then do MGM Studios and Epcot the next day. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to Animal Kingdom. I have still never been to Animal Kingdom. So I would love to hear your thoughts about Animal Kingdom, and I will go sometime. We were headed there right around the time that Hurricane Michael was starting to form around the southern part of Florida, and I have a confession to make. I'm not too crazy about flying, so... And obviously I'm making this video, so everything went a-okay. There was inclement weather. We knew it was gonna rain on and off. I thought, wow, this is gonna be a cakewalk. We'll go on a Wednesday. There'll hardly be anybody there. We'll just walk onto most of the rides. Yeah, that didn't happen at all. The park was an absolute nightmare. Now, granted, I'm a trooper. I can walk around. I don't mind waiting in lines and stuff like that. I'll do the fast pass thing. I'll hang in there. You can bring me anywhere. I'll just have a great time. But there were definitely a few times when I just thought, oh man, this is just too much. It was one of the busiest days I have ever spent at a Disney park. And I've spent them all, folks. I've done New Year's Eves. I've done July 4ths. I've been there as a guest, and it can get pretty hairy. See, being primarily a child of Disneyland, everything's very compact, everything's very small. So you get out of your car, take a tram, and the tram drops you pretty much right at the gate. Oh no, not at Walt Disney World. You've got to park and then walk somewhere and then take one of several transportation methods to just the gate. We happened to take the ferry, and that took an additional probably 40 minutes just to get to the front gate. The sheer size of the Magic Kingdom in and of itself can be a little daunting. I actually really liked it because I love walking around, and I thought that all of the lands were a lot more spaced out and really, really themed, and it didn't feel so crushed. I mean, the lands weren't crushed, but I was quite busy almost getting trampled by people. Can we talk about Walt Disney World visitors versus Disneyland visitors for a minute? Okay, something happens at Disneyland, like it rains or it just gets too cold. Californians and visitors there know how to chill. They'll go, well, we'll go back to our hotel room for a little bit. We'll kind of maybe take a nap, get the kids settled down, let them take a rest, restore, and then we'll go back to the park. Oh no, oh no, no. These Walt Disney World mofos do not stop. They do not stop. It rained 3 times, and I mean heavy rain. If you've ever been in Florida rain, it doesn't rain long, but it rains heavy. The rain, it was like they were mogwais. It's like they all multiplied every time it rained. It's like they all got wet, and there were thousands more of them clogging up all the rides. I saw dads holding infants in this arm, ice cream in this arm, and they're just going. They get like that glaze. They do not stop. I couldn't believe it. It's like Terminator. It's like Terminator parents. They're just machines. They're like, we're gonna enjoy every cent of this vacation if it kills us. If the ground was made out of lava, they would drag their kids through it. Will someone please explain to me why people bring infants like this big, like umbilical cords still attached to the Disney parks? I don't understand it. I get it that they get in for free, but they're not gonna remember it. Babies take a lot of attention, and you kind of have to, like, I saw babies getting handed off all day. Like, hey, hon, I'm gonna go on down the mountain, hold the baby. And every parent had those double wide strollers just piled with kids. It was like Santa Claus was coming to town, and he was giving everybody babies. Here you go, here's your babies, I'm pulling in. A really big revelation that I had was my years at Disney. I was there during a time when they were adding and subtracting a lot of things to the rides. So I was there for a lot of the changes. I was there when Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom opened. I was there when they started kind of changing the scenes in Pirates of the Caribbean, when they started adding little things to the rides to kind of make them new and interesting and get people to come back to the park and ride them again. Well, you know what I realized is pretty much you have to go to Disney World now to experience rides the way they originally were in Disneyland. I mean, the Magic Kingdom still has the Country Bear Jamboree, which I went to. Their Small World is the original Small World. They didn't put in, new animatronic figures of characters from Disney movies. Space Mountain is pretty traditional, and they're not trying to do anything fancy with any kind of like special effects or overlays. And something that I was so happy about was that their Haunted Mansion stays Haunted Mansion during Halloween time. They don't do the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. I like Nightmare Before Christmas, but I love the Haunted Mansion more. By the way, did I mention that Haunted Mansion is my favorite ride? Although my heart will, of course, always be devoted to the original Haunted Mansion in Disneyland. Plus, I really love the outside facade of the Southern Mansion. I can get into the colonial thing at Liberty Square, but I think the Southern Mansion just looks a little more fitting. I gotta give the Magic Kingdom's Haunted Mansion credit though, because the main thing is that the entire experience is a ride. You ride through the portrait gallery, you ride past the miniature bride at the end. It's a complete ride experience. Plus they do have extra rooms. They have a library, they have a music room, and they have the Endless Staircase, which is kind of a nod to MC Escher if you know any of his art. It's just really, really good. What I'm getting at is the more Haunted Mansion, the better, obviously. And speaking of more Haunted Mansion, I was lucky enough to get to go inside the VIP servants quarters hallway at the exit of the ride. A very nice cast member named Stacy allowed me to come on in. And I had heard about this room, I've seen videos of it, and so on and so forth. It's just a little access hallway, and what it has is a panel of keys on one wall that has all the keys to all the rooms in the mansion, and 3 of them are missing. There's supposed to be some kind of story there. If you know anything about that more, tell me down below. There's also a panel of bells, like service bells, that where you could, like Scrooge, like you could pull on a string in your room and a bell would ring downstairs in the servants' quarters to let them know that you need something. Now, unfortunately, they would not allow me to take any video footage or pictures in the VIP hallway, but there are pictures of the hallway online. Like I said, I didn't take these pictures, but I wanted to show you what I got to see. And the 3 keys that are missing from the panel are for the Endless Hallway, the Ballroom, and the Attic. Although I'm not sure how there's 1 key for the Endless Hallway because it just has a million doors. I do have one little thing that irks me about the Haunted Mansion, and my visit to the Walt Disney World one just reaffirmed that. I can't stand the new attic bride. Her name is Constance Hatchaway. It's supposed to be like she's a Black Widow murderess and she's up in the attic. I like the old bride with the heartbeat and the ghouls popping up all over the place. I thought that was much more terrifying. Plus she was an actual animatronic. This one really does look like one of those plastic things that you put in the window at Halloween. I mean, like, I've seen the equivalent of this at Target, and it just doesn't work because the animatronics in the rest of the ride are so wonderful and so dynamic that to just have this, projection just doesn't fit the bill for me. Plus, I don't like that she talks. I don't want something to tell me that it's scary. So hey, if you like the new bride, more power to you. I would love to see the old one make a return at some point. Their mansion also does not have the Hatbox Ghost yet, and I don't know if there's any speculation about if that character is going to be installed. They have the exact same space there that Disneyland's Haunted Mansion used to have for that character, so who knows, maybe we'll go in the future. I did get as a gift this Hatbox Ghost ornament because this is styled after the original one off of the Haunted Mansion story Disneyland record, so this is the real deal. The only ride that I wanted to go on but actually didn't get to go on because the line wait time was a solid 180 minutes all day long was the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train ride. It was a pretty invigorating experience. Rain, crowds, long wait times. But I got to do everything that I really wanted to do. I got into all the parks for free because of some connections that I have. I gotta tell you, the pressure must really be on for parents who have saved thousands of dollars to go on this vacation. I can understand why they'll fight through 3 rainstorms and drag their kids around and get like every penny out of it. I would love to go back another time when it's not so crowded and get on that damn Seven Dwarfs ride. God. And spend a little more time kind of exploring and looking around the park because I like to look at details and extra little things and kind of breathe and take my time. I do always have a pretzel. I gotta have a pretzel whenever I go to a theme park. I love them. And it was very good. So when was the last time you went to the Magic Kingdom? And do you like Disneyland better or Disney World? Let me know. In the meantime, lots more coming your way, and thanks for watching.